The teasers dropped, the fandom went silent. In an instant, the entire K-pop world was turned upside down.
Oh, it was absolute chaos.
Welcome to StarScope K-Report. Join Eric and Minji as they ride the Hallyu wave, uncovering the biggest K-pop comebacks, shocking industry controversies, and major K-drama updates. From internet-breaking rumors to historic chart milestones, we dive deep into the world of Korean entertainment.
And that silence from the fandom, it definitely did not last long.
Not at all. Today, we are looking at a controversy that hasn't just, sparked a debate.
Right.
It has completely fractured an international fan base and really exposed the raw, uncomfortable mechanics of how global pop groups actually operate behind closed doors.
I mean, we are dissecting a headline that has entirely hijacked your timelines today. It reads, "They exposed her, the truth about KATSEYE Manon."
Yeah, and to figure out the reality behind that wild title, we've pulled a massive stack of sources for you. We're talking official agency statements from HYBE and Geffen.
We've got translated Korean forum leaks from the Quo, too.
Exactly. Plus, we're parsing through all the Reddit mega threads and tracking real-time digital footprints. If you have ever wondered how carefully constructed multi-million-dollar PR narratives just shatter in real time, yeah, this is the ultimate case study.
The emotional stakes for the fans are just incredibly high right now. And to truly grasp why people are so invested, you have to look at how KATSEYE was formed in the first place.
Right, because this wasn't just a group of friends deciding to start a band in a garage.
No, not at all. They were forged in a highly publicized reality survival show called the Debut Dream Academy. And Manon's trajectory on that show was, fascinating because she broke the traditional mold completely.
She really did. When you look at the data on her rise during that show, it is staggering. In K-pop, agencies meticulously engineer these groups to cover different demographics and skill sets. Manon was brought in as the ultimate visual.
Yes. For anyone new, that's a specific industry term for a member whose striking looks and charisma act as the primary magnet for the general public.
And the strategy worked flawlessly, right? She brought in unbelievable engagement metrics, securing her position as the immediate bias or, favorite member for a massive chunk of the global audience.
Which is huge.
Yeah. Her metrics were a massive driving force in helping the group secure an all-kill on the streaming charts right upon debut.
But that immediate fame, it came with massive internal friction. Because as anyone who watched the documentary knows, Manon lacked the formal, grueling vocal and dance training that her peers had endured.
Right. A lot of those girls had been grinding in rehearsal studios since they were young kids.
Exactly. So you immediately had this narrative forming, right?
Right.
The naturally gifted influencer versus the meticulously trained performers. The fandom fiercely defended Manon, of course, pointing out that the documentary's editing felt heavily skewed.
Yeah, they felt it highlighted her absences to push a lazy narrative while completely ignoring her documented health issues.
Which brings us to the inciting incident.
Right. So the group debuts, they achieve massive commercial success, they're generating incredible revenue. And then in February 2026, the joint label HYBEX Geffen, which is often abbreviated as HSG, releases this highly polished official statement.
Oh, the dreaded statement.
Yeah. They announced that Manon is taking a temporary hiatus from all group activities to focus on her health and well-being.
And look, when a K-pop agency issues a health and well-being statement, fans don't just take it at face value anymore.
No, they immediately start digging.
Right, because in this industry, the health hiatus is often used as a catch-all PR shield. Sometimes it truly means a member is sick or injured, but historically. Agencies have used that exact phrasing to cover up contract disputes, internal bullying, or even disciplinary suspensions.
So the fans' radar started pinging frantically, and that suspicion was totally validated when Manon took to Weverse.
Let's define Weverse for a second for the listeners, because the platform itself is crucial here. It's an exclusive fan communication app owned by HYBE.
Right. It is designed to be a safe, controlled ecosystem where idols post heavily vetted, sanitized updates.
It is the ultimate walled garden of PR.
Exactly. But Manon bypassed the PR filter completely. She posted this incredibly vague, cryptic message that just set the internet on fire.
What did she say again?
She wrote, "Sometimes things unfold in ways we don't fully control, but I'm trusting the bigger picture."
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I look at that phrasing from a purely structural standpoint. If you are stepping back from a massive project because you have severe burnout or a physical injury, you do not talk about things unfolding in ways you don't fully control.
No. You definitely don't.
That is the language of someone who has been benched. It strongly implies a decision was made for her, not by her. It honestly reminds me of the old Hollywood studio system, where executives would publicly send an actor to a sanitarium for exhaustion when they were really just striking for better pay.
The fandom felt that exact same disconnect. Yeah. And then, well, the plot twist of the year happens, completely obliterating the label's health narrative.
Oh man, set the scene for us.
Okay, so it's the 2026 Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival. This is a historic comeback stage for KATSEYE.
Huge.
Right, it's the kind of high-stakes global platform that groups literally train years for. But the visual on stage is jarring because KATSEYE is performing as a 5-member group.
Right. They are doing the intense choreography for their track Pin KYUP, which, we should note, Manon was also absent from the music video for.
Exactly. And while those 5 girls were sweating it out on stage, the hashtag #WhereIsManon is trending globally. You're watching this monumental career milestone, and the group's most viral member is glaringly absent.
The heartbreak from the fans was palpable, but the real shock came when fans literally spotted Manon at Coachella.
Not on stage.
No. In the audience, having the time of her life watching Sabrina Carpenter's set, and later photos surface of her backstage with Pink Pantheress.
It is wild.
The audacity of that move is what fascinates me. Imagine you call out sick from a high-stakes corporate presentation, right? Your team is scrambling, working overtime to cover your slides, and then your manager sees you on the Jumbotron at a baseball game eating a hot dog.
Literally.
You don't accidentally end up backstage at Coachella. That requires VIP access, which means she likely leveraged her own influencer connections to be there, actively bypassing the label's containment strategy.
It was a deliberate signal to the fans. She was showing them, like, I am healthy, I am here, I am just not on that stage.
And it looks like a clear-cut case of an idol breaking the rules, right?
But wait till you hear what Netizens uncovered next, because the darker side of this hiatus completely flips the script.
Oh, it really does. That bold move triggered an absolute digital rebellion, and it really highlights a massive cultural shift happening in real time.
You're watching these massive Hallyu wave shifts happen right before your eyes, which is exactly why we track these industry earthquakes here on the channel, so make sure you're subscribed to catch them all.
Absolutely, because we need to look at the digital footprint following Coachella. The silent war that broke out on social media is unprecedented. Tell me about it.
So Manon went to her Instagram and removed KATSEYE from her bio.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in the hyper-surveilled ecosystem of idol culture, where managers monitor every single digital move, changing your bio is the equivalent of a loud public slamming of a door.
Right.
And then she started liking very specific posts discussing the mistreatment of Black women in non-Black groups.
And the data shows this wasn't just a stray thumb tap on the algorithm either. Her boyfriend also got involved.
Right, the repost.
Yeah, he reposted a graphic on his story that highlighted a years-long pattern of racism and mistreatment of Black and mixed-race women in the entertainment industry. And the caption he shared explicitly connected this history of mistreatment to Manon's current hiatus.
To impartially report on the international fans' perspective here, they are arguing that Manon is a victim of a rigged systemic issue.
What's the main theory they have?
The prevailing theory among her defenders is that the label basically used her for diversity points. The argument is that HYBE and Geffen needed her demographic appeal to secure brand deals and global marketing traction in the West, right? But once the group was firmly established, they sidelined her in favor of a more traditional, compliant K-pop dynamic.
Okay, we have to look at the other side of this equation just as impartially, because while that mistreatment narrative was gaining massive traction globally, a complete counter-narrative exploded on Korean forums.
Oh, the Quo leak.
Yes. Let's break down the insider tea that leaked on the Quo, which, for context for you guys listening, is a massive anonymous Korean forum where entertainment industry staff frequently leak behind-the-scenes information.
And this leak completely upended the conversation for domestic netizens. According to this alleged industry insider, HXG did not have a vendetta against Manon.
Interesting.
Yeah, the leak claims the label actually loved her. They heavily advocated for her behind the scenes because her engagement metrics were bringing in rapid, undeniable revenue.
So the plot twist the insider provided was that the hiatus wasn't forced by the company executives at all.
Wait for it.
It was allegedly demanded by the other 5 members. Laura, Megan, Daniela, Yoonchai, and Sophia supposedly issued an ultimatum to the label.
Which is insane to think about. The insider claims that Manon repeatedly missed rehearsals to hang out with friends in LA. And We need to talk about the mechanics of missing a K-pop rehearsal.
Right, it's not like a normal band practice.
Exactly. If you have a 6-member choreography and one person doesn't show up, you don't just practice with a gap. The entire geometry of the dance has to be restructured.
The leak alleges that Manon's absences forced the other 5 girls into grueling 12-hour unpaid overtime sessions to reblock their choreography and re-record vocal arrangements.
Which is just brutal.
And those unpaid rehearsals really highlight a dark financial reality of the trainee system. Idols often operate under a debt system where they owe the company for their housing, training, and production costs until they turn a profit. So working overtime isn't just exhausting, it is financially crippling if the group's quality drops and they lose momentum.
This is exactly where the cultural clash between international fans and domestic Korean netizens, the K-nets, becomes starkly visible. If you look at Poncho, which translates Korean forum comments for international readers, the domestic reaction offers zero sympathy for Manon.
None at all.
The comments are brutal. They are calling the other members saints for putting up with it and demanding the label just kick her out for lacking the necessary work ethic.
I have to pause on those K-ness reactions, though, because they reveal a deeply ingrained bias toward toxic hustle culture.
Sure.
One of the top voted comments translated on Ponchoa literally bragged about sleep deprivation. And the commenter said, "It's so common for idols to sleep for just an hour or two when they're popular. I guess it's too tough for her."
Right.
We have to ask the underlying question here. Is it fair to label Manon as lazy and difficult, or is she simply a person establishing normal, healthy human boundaries?
You are hitting on the fundamental friction point of engineering a global group right there. You have a member raised with Swiss and Western boundaries regarding work-life balance.
Where if you are burnt out, you take a protected day off.
Exactly. Thrust into the hyper-intense, heavily regulated Eastern idol system. The history of that Korean system is rooted in post-war rapid industrialization, where suffering for your work and pushing past physical limits is viewed as a cultural badge of honor.
But the label knew exactly who they were hiring. They scouted an influencer with zero formal K-pop trainee background, specifically because she had the analytics, the reach, and the look.
They wanted the best of both worlds.
Right. They wanted all the financial benefits of her Western influencer appeal, but they seemingly expected her to instantly adopt the grueling, silent compliance of a traditional Eastern idol. You can't hack the system for diversity points and then be shocked when the person brings their actual diverse cultural norms into the workplace.
It really breaks my heart for the other girls too, though, especially the Maknae, Yoonjae, who was the youngest member of the group, along with Daniela, Lara, Megan, and Sophia.
Yeah, they are caught in the middle.
They are catching stray hate online because they haven't publicly defended Manon. But if that insider leak is true, and they were the ones working overtime on 1 hour of sleep to save their debut, their frustration is entirely justified.
Absolutely.
The agency created this sociological pressure cooker and then just stepped back, letting the girls take the heat from the public.
It is a perfect storm of mismanagement, cultural misunderstandings, and entirely misaligned expectations. Which brings us to a really important parallel.
Oh, yes.
But first, if you love staying updated on your favorites, make sure you're subscribed to StarScope K-Report. We've got even bigger scoops ahead. Because to truly understand the pressure Manon is rebelling against, we need to look at how veteran idols navigate this exact same crushing machine.
We really do need to connect this to the broader Hallyu context. Because the idol machine doesn't just crush rookies who are finding their footing,
Right.
It weighs incredibly heavily on the biggest, most established stars in the world.
Let's look at Blackpink's recent 10th anniversary fiasco. Here you have arguably the most successful girl group in history.
Legends.
But according to reports from Dispatch, YG Entertainment severely rushed the preparation for their massive 10th debut anniversary meet and greet event.
This is a disaster.
The logistics were a complete mess, the venue was chaotic, and fans felt the whole experience was incredibly rushed and poorly handled by the agency.
And the backlash in the fandom was swift and loud. But what really broke the internet wasn't just the logistical failure of the event, it was the viral footage that surfaced immediately afterward.
Oh, that video was so hard to watch.
Someone leaked footage of Jisoo sitting alone in her car after the meet and greet, just completely breaking down in tears on camera. For a veteran idol who is universally known for being composed and stoic, seeing her crack under the emotional weight of the industry was shocking.
The way she handled the PR fallout from that video is a fascinating contrast to the KATSEYE situation.
It is a masterclass in veteran idol communication. Jisoo didn't vague post, and she definitely didn't change her bio.
Nope.
She immediately went to Weverse and posted a very long, very honest, and highly mature message directly to the fans. She clarified exactly what she was feeling to shut down the rumor mill before the internet could spin it into a crisis.
Let me pull up her exact quote here because it speaks directly to this impossible expectation of perfection. She wrote, "There seemed to be a lot of people who were shocked at me crying yesterday. I guess I was a person too. I can't believe I wasn't a robot."
I can't believe I wasn't a robot. That single line is just everything.
It really is.
She went on to explain that her tears shouldn't be caught up in negative speculations about her contract or the agency. She explained they were just a mix of deep, overwhelming emotions from celebrating a grueling 10-year journey with her members and the fans.
And the K-Met's reactions to Jisoo's post were incredibly positive. They praised her for being mature, for communicating like an adult, and for being transparent.
Right.
But when we contrast Jisoo's highly seasoned, heavily PR-conscious approach with Manon's approach, it is night and day.
Jisoo used direct communication to protect her group's legacy and calm the fandom. Manon, coming from that Gen Z influencer background, utilized the modern digital playbook, right?
Vague posting, Instagram bio changes,
and subtle likes on controversial sociopolitical posts. It's raw, it's messy, and it creates an absolute vacuum of information that fans instantly fill with massive conspiracy theories.
Think about what we actually demand from these idols. As an audience, we constantly scream for vulnerability and authenticity from these stars. We want them to be real with us.
But then when they actually hit their breaking point under the intense pressure,
whether it's Manon refusing to overwork and setting a boundary by skipping rehearsal, or Jisoo crying in a car from sheer emotional exhaustion,
the internet just tears them apart.
Exactly. We beg them to be human, but we judge them entirely by the flawless standards of a machine.
It is the ultimate paradox of being a K-pop idol today. You are expected to be a flawless, synchronized performer, a relatable best friend to millions of fans, and a tireless worker who never needs sleep or a sick day.
It's impossible.
The moment the messy human being underneath all that armor shows through, it becomes an international scandal.
Synthesizing everything we've looked at today across the agency statements, the leaks, and the fan reactions. The situation with Manon is not just a simple idol controversy about a missed rehearsal or a cheeky Coachella appearance.
No, it's way bigger than that.
It is a massive systemic collision. You have intense traditional Eastern K-pop standards crashing violently into Western influencer boundaries.
Right, and you have fan entitlement demanding total access.
Plus, systemic industry pressures that actively pit group members against each other just to survive their debut.
It truly feels like a turning point for the industry. We are watching the real-time growing pains of a global K-pop group trying to bridge the Western and Eastern entertainment models, and realizing that the foundational blueprints might just be entirely incompatible.
Which leaves us with a final, lingering question for you to think about. With idols now holding the unprecedented power to communicate directly with millions of fans through a single social media like or a subtle bio change, are we witnessing the permanent death of the agency-controlled narrative?
Oh, that's a great question.
As global groups like KATSEYE try to merge these vastly different cultural work ethics, is this kind of friction inevitable for every future global group? Will the PR machine ever be able to manufacture a flawless image again? Or are we permanently operating in an era where the fans have the power to dismantle the illusion?
It's a puzzle the entire global entertainment industry is going to have to solve, and honestly, they are running out of time to do it. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a KT update as we navigate these massive shifts together.
You've been listening to StarScope K-Report, where Eric and Minji bring you the stories shaping K-pop, K-dramas, and the global Hallyu wave. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.